Hi, good morning.
Good morning,
Morning,
Cindy. I see
Julie.
Cindy's on, Julia's on, Judith, Nancy.
Hi.
Hey, Judith, how are you?
Good, good.
Thanks for
Hey,
joining.
Nancy.
Hey, how are
All right, all right. Just trying to get some work over here. Trying to get
Thanks for
you?
joining me, people. We're gonna wait for some more people. It's right at 12:30 right now, but thanks for joining me. I know it's a struggle to get on these Zoom calls sometimes, but I'm gonna try to cut to the chase and get to the fun stuff. Carl's gonna be joining us today, so once we have 10 participants, we are gonna have a raffle drawing at the end. So make sure to stay on listening. And I'll let Judith go ahead and introduce herself and Nancy to introduce themselves. Judith is a realtor too. So Judith, if you want to say hi.
Hi, guys. My name is Judith Vela, and I am with Keller Williams here in the Rio Grande Valley. I was in Houston, and I just recently relocated to McAllen. So if you all know anybody that lives in McAllen, Mission Far, Edinburgh, that wants to sell or buy, I'll be happy to help them out. And I'll put my numbers in the chat so you guys can have it. And it's great meeting you all.
Thanks, Judith. Nancy. Nancy's on mute. Oh, there.
My dogs were acting up. I'm so sorry if you hear my dogs in the background. This work from life, from home. From Nancy Ortiz from Home Warranty of America, and I'm your for the Northeast Houston area. And any questions that you may have regarding a home warranty and what it covers and what is a home warranty, feel free to call me. I will also share my information.
Awesome. And then I see Julia and Cindy are online. If you want to just say hi.
Hi.
There's Cindy.
Hi.
Cindy's my sister.
I gather.
And then Julia's my other sister.
Okay, cool.
Julia, if you want to say hi. Okay, we're still getting everything situated here. So 12:32 now. I'm waiting for Carl to come on. Kim was going to join too, so we'll just wait for a little bit and then I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen. Let me start preparing that to get ready. And go to my PowerPoint here.
Homes across.
Okay, so I'm going to start getting that ready. I don't see anybody else in the waiting room with me. Somebody in the chat. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started just because we are public and everything. And I don't want, this is just FYI, I'm going to record this. So I hope nobody minds that this is going to be, oh, there's Carl right there. We are going to have this recorded. So this is going to be available on my YouTube channel. If you don't follow me already, Ruby the Realtor, please follow me if you don't already on my channel. Carl, are you on?
I am. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you now. Okay, great. So, so we have a few people on the call right now. I just wanted to introduce, if you can introduce yourself, Carl. We have Nancy on the call, and we have Judith on the call, and then we have Cindy and Julie on the call. So,
Yeah. I'm Carl LeBlum with Guarantee Rate Affinity, and I'm a mortgage banker, and I've worked Ruby a lot in the past. I've been doing this for 30 years, but I understand every deal is unique. And to kickstart 2021, we're offering some great products. And the Home Buyer Seminar is going to be a great way to put everybody in the best position to make some great decisions.
awesome. Okay, so can you all see my PowerPoint slide right now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me,
Yes.
I have a little problem going on over here. I'm trying to remove some stuff. Let me see. How do I? Okay. Let's see. How do I fix it? Okay. Let me make this Okay, so Home Buying Seminar 101. Welcome. So we did the introduction of the speakers. I'm Ruby Almendarez. I'm with Coldwell Banker. I've been doing real estate for a couple of years now. We have Carl LeBlanc on the line, who's with Guaranteed Rate Affinity, and he's one of our preferred lenders. We also have Nancy on the call, and Nancy's with Home Warranty of America, HWA, and she will leave some room for her to talk a little bit more about Home Warranty of America. And like we mentioned earlier, please stay tuned till the end because we are going to have a raffle at the end. So if you want to text me your name and number, my number's on there, 832-489-8784. At the end, once we have 10 participants, we are going to do a raffle with Carl. Okay, so I'll just jump right into this. Right now, we are, oh, I have somebody else that just joined. Let me just accept them real quick. Danica. Okay, so what holds consumers from buying now in today's market? So right now there is a lot of information, and that's why I put TMI. There's too much information on the housing market and at the same time not enough information. But just so you know, we are going to watch a video on this. The market's actually really strong right now. We had a really strong 2020. So despite COVID, the housing market is doing really well. The supplier market is really low right now, so it's a great time to sell. Carl will talk about interest rates when it comes to that. And then, so a lot of people are hearing different things. So that's what's keeping them from buying right now, is that they're not sure. They're still kind of hesitant about that. But just so you know, the market is strong. There's also some fears related to COVID-19. I know some people are scared because, you know, COVID, the numbers keep going up and everything. But as a realtor, we are practicing great standards, you know, wearing gloves and hand sanitizer everywhere. We're, you know, washing our hands and everything like that. So despite the fears related to COVID-19, there is, hey, Kim, there's a lot of precautions that we're taking, you know, to prevent COVID-19 from spreading. So I know a lot of people too have struggled because layoffs and whatnot have been going up. So sometimes buyers do feel that they're going to lose their jobs and things like that. And sometimes just buying just a house in general, even without COVID, people, you know, they do fear that they might lose their job. I was working with one buyer and, you know, she kept saying, I'm going to wait, I'm going to just keep renting because I don't know if I'm going to lose my job. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, nothing is 100% guaranteed. Only, you know, death, that's it. Everything else is a gamble. So, you know, even if you're renting, thinking I'm going to rent until I can be ready, you're never really ready completely. So, you know, the fear of losing your job, that can happen at any time. So you should invest that money in a home. So the other thing is people think they can't afford it. A lot of people think, you know, I just can't afford it, but you'd be surprised. Rental prices are very close to home mortgage payments. So it's very reasonable and it's out there. There's, you know, we can get you a mortgage pretty much for the same thing you're paying in rent. So, and also people don't know where to start. So thanks for joining us today. This is a great place to start, is by coming to these seminars. So Kim, do you want to touch on that a little bit? Kim is also a realtor with Coldwell Banker.
Hi guys, good afternoon. How you doing? My name is Kim Subia. I work at Coldwell Banker with Ruby, and like she's saying, there's a really good point that you were talking about. A lot of people don't know how to start. To be honest, it's always a little bit scared to start anything, not even just buy a house. Everything step that you do in your life, you always think maybe one, twice. And it's important to think many times before you do something. And of course, buying a house, but you know what, like she's saying, renting, you always you need a place to live anyways. You want to pay rent or you want to pay something, whatever you have to live. So for start buying your home is, I think, a really good step where, like she said, start here. Asking the realtors what should start. That's what we're here for, to help you. As Ruby says, you know what, this is the step by step, and we will hold you all the time. We by your side since the beginning to the end of the transaction. We never let you go. We never let you down. We always be by your side, helping you with anything, any questions you may have. So the only thing how to start is just come to the realtor that you trust, that you feel comfortable with, and they will guide you exactly the right way to go to go, which is buy a new home where you can save money because that's perfect for you and your family.
Thank you, Kim. So how is the housing market doing today now? So I did find this video in MLS HAR, multi-listing service, and it's showing the housing market as of November 2020, which was the last time they produced one of these YouTube videos. I did go on there today. And again, just to reiterate, the market is really strong. So despite COVID numbers and whatnot, the market has been very strong. And let me just play this video for you all so you can hear it from them.
Homes across Greater Houston continued selling at a record pace despite historically low inventory, the start of the holiday season, and the lingering pandemic. 7,990 single-family homes sold in November compared to 6,359 a year earlier. That's a 25.6% increase and marks the sixth consecutive month of positive sales. Once again, homes priced at $750,000 and above saw the biggest increase in consumer activity, leaping 88.4% from last year. The median price increased 12% to $270,000, the second highest level of all time. The single-family home average price rose 15% to an all-time high of just under $342,000. Year-to-date sales are running 9% ahead of 2019's record pace. Houston's rental market was sluggish. Leases of single-family homes fell 11.1%, and townhomes and condominiums declined 4%. Look for the complete November 2020 market update on all of HAR's social media platforms, as well as in the HAR online newsroom.
So there you have it, guys, from HAR Direct. The market is very strong right now. So please keep that in mind whenever you start thinking that it's not a good time to sell or buy, because it is. People keep thinking that there's going to be a crash or that something's going to happen and drive the prices down really low on home sales, but it hasn't. Prices have steadily gone up, especially in Houston, where people are just massively moving here. Even with COVID, we have people coming from everywhere, from California, from Louisiana, just Florida, everywhere. The market is strong. The job market, despite layoffs, is still very strong. We're making do, with things. So it's still a really good time to buy and to sell. So moving right along.
Homes.
So the other thing, I know some people, let me see if I have any other guests coming on. Okay, I don't. Okay. So the other thing right now is people are asking, how am I going to show my house? Because I know you want to go see houses and whatnot, and you don't want to go in person because of COVID, and you would rather, see it virtually or see it online. And sometimes it's easier to see it online. Sometimes you feel like you don't get, I guess, the same effect as you would go in person. But I'm going to show you just this brief video of when I did one of my listings here in Humble, where I did a virtual tour for my client. It was a virtual open house tour, just showing the house, because sometimes when you see a video, you see parts of it, but in here, I do go in detail showing all the little things about the houses. I do these open house virtual tours also for people. Like I said, there's a lot of people moving from other states. So they want to come here and already have the house ready to go, the house that they find. So they depend on us, for these virtual tours. So I did this one, and I'll just show it to you so you can see these are some of the things that we can offer you once you are in the market for buying or selling.
Hey guys, Ruby here, your go-to realtor. Today I'm in Humble, and I'm going to show you this beautiful house that I have listed. As you can see, it's a nice big house. It is at 1847 McCondray Street. It's 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it does feature 2 master bedrooms, 1 up, 1 down. So come on guys, come with me. Let's come see this house. So as you can see, the owners did a really good job, meticulously maintained with this beautiful landscaping, nice new mulch, nice little entryway. Come on, don't be shy.
Okay, I won't go into the whole video, but I do go into the house and I show pretty much the kitchen, the restroom, all the corners and closets and everything so that people can get a good idea of what they're looking at, because so many things are done virtually right now with COVID and all. So also, if you want to see more videos like this of homes and whatnot, you can find them on my channel, Ruby the Realtor. So here's the big one, and I'm going to ask Judith and Kim to chime in on this one, and it's, why do I need a realtor? So a lot of people always think, you know, why do I really need a realtor? I can just go on Zillow or realtor.com. You know, do I really need a realtor? Can I just go do this on my own? So first of all, some people don't even know that you don't have to pay a realtor. When you're being represented on the buyer side, you don't pay your realtor. You know, I had a client ask me recently, hey, Ruby, I want you to help me find these houses. And, you know, I'm looking in Southside, and I know you live in Humble, but, you know, I really want this certain house and, you know, within this price range. And, you know, what am I looking at? How much do I have to pay you? Because they assume it's a service, because you are providing a great service for them. And he assumed that I was going to charge him. And I said, no, you don't have to pay me. That's what I do. I get paid to sell houses, and I get paid from the seller, not from the buyer. So that's one of the greatest benefits, is you don't have to pay as a buyer. So the other thing, the MLS history information and market report information. So MLS is HAR. That's how you all know it. Houston Association of Realtors, where we get all this information. And we have access to information in the form of agent remarks and just talking one-on-one to agents, because they'll talk to us usually before they talk to a buyer, because we're realtors and we know what we're looking at. And, you know, we want to make sure we're working with people that are really serious about buying. So if you have a realtor representing you, you're going to know that you're going to get inside information up front just from that, you know. We're also going to pair you with clients with title companies and mortgage lenders who can handle mobile transactions efficiently, home warranty companies, you know, things like that. We have those things, because I know some people say, well, after I buy the house, well, who's going to be the title company? And what about an inspection? And what about a home warranty? Because these things are not what you do every day. So that's what we're here for, to help you. And I'll let Judith, if you want to take on the third bullet, professional networking and pocket listings.
Yes, as realtors, sometimes we know what's going to be coming at the market on certain subdivisions. If you're looking to buy like in Eagle Springs or Kings River, sometimes as realtors, we speak with other realtors, we get certain information if they're working on a listing that's about to come on the market. Like if you have buyers that have been looking, that they haven't really found what they're looking for, we know realtors will let us know, hey, your buyers are looking for a certain house. I have a house coming up on the market in the next week or so. So we'll let them know that information, which you won't obtain that if you're not working with a realtor as well. And we do network a lot. So we, like Ruby was saying, we do work with inspectors, home warranty agents. We've worked with them, so we know who to recommend, or like, I'm sure it's good, but sometimes we work with certain individuals that we like the way they work. They're reliable. They'll do the work immediately. And lenders, like for example, I work with Carl LeBlanc myself, and he's very good at what he does, and he gets you all the information you need in a good length of time. He doesn't wait around, and he just gets it done. So we network with people that we've worked with before as well, so we'll be able to recommend people that will help buyers and sellers.
Thank you, Judith. I know Kim is muted right now, but Kim, do you want to touch on prepare you for closing and after closing?
Yeah, I mean, yes, like all of you, like you and Judy were talking about, like all these points are really important to have a realtor, because the more important thing, like you say, more in the buyer, both sides are really important. Like you say, in the buyer, you don't pay for, but besides that, you need information, because sometimes they say, no, I can do everything by myself. It's not everything by yourself. Maybe you can do it, but it's a lot of paperwork in detail that you don't know about it. And then after, you know, on closing, what do they charge me this? What do they charge me that? I didn't expect this. I didn't expect that. And like I said, we do a lot of stuff. We have to do like inspection is very important too. and we refer the loan officer, like Judy said, who was better or no better, whatever, work with us. And for closing and after closing, we need to prepare every single thing to be ready at closing, and then make sure everything will work for you as our client, either if you're the seller or a buyer. We're gonna be right there and make sure everything is correct. And the CD, which is the close to clear, clear to close, is a paper very important with little details of what do you have to bring on the table the day when you buy a home, make sure everything is right. And so we can proceed in closing, and after closing, we help you too. Of course, the title company will let you know all the information, what your next payment and all of that, but we're still there. Don't think like, okay, we close and bye-bye. No, we're still there, but for you, anything you need, because it's after closing, there's some little details that you need to make sure, because if you're first home buyer, you don't know what is going to be next. When is my payment? What about this? What about that? So we always be there for you after closing, and for the future, whatever you need, any more help.
Okay, thank you, Kim. And that's right, we're always there for you before and after. So it's not like, oh yeah, thanks for the business, see ya. No, we keep in touch with you, because also you guys are the best sources for referrals as well. So if we do a good job for you, we know that you're going to send more clients, which is what we want. So, okay, so home buying. There are several steps you must take before going shopping for a home. So I know a lot of people get really excited about looking for homes, and they'll call and say, hey, I want to see these 3 houses and I love them. And one's 380, the other one's 375, and one's like 180, because I don't know how much I'm gonna be approved for, but I love all of them and they're perfect. So before we run out the door and start driving all around town looking at houses, we want to make sure that you do have a mortgage pre-qualification letter or pre-approval letter. And the reason for that is because you want to know where you're at. So you don't want to start looking at houses that are 380,000 when you're only going to be approved for 250,000. And unfortunately, especially right now with COVID, some of the realtors who are selling these houses, they want to see these pre-approvals before you even go and look at the houses, because they want to make sure that they're not wasting their time or making their home accessible to somebody who's not even really a good candidate or that's really going to buy their house, but yet they pose that threat of possibly bringing something from the outside inside their home like COVID. So it's really important to get that pre-qual ready to show the sellers that you're a serious buyer. And for you to know too, right? You want to know what you're working with, and not just how much you're pre-approved for, but what Carl can do too is he can give you, because a lot of people need to know this, is how much is that monthly payment going to be? Are we looking at $1,700, which is okay for me, or are we looking at $2,250? And he'll take into consideration, you know, the taxes, where are you at, how much is the HOA, things like that. That's all going to be bundled into your monthly payment. So then once you know that number, you're going to feel comfortable. Okay, so maybe I love that $380,000 house with the pool and the patio and the porch, but maybe I need to stay more in the 250, 260 price range. Or maybe you're looking too low and you realize I can afford something way bigger and way better. So these are all things that you want to know. Just like you budget for your groceries and you budget for your school clothes for your kids and everything else, you need to budget properly for your house too. So, and there are various types of loans. There's everything you can think of, home buyer assistance and conventional FHA. And I'll let Carl touch on that because there are so many, and he can get with you one-on-one on that sort of thing as well. So with that being said, we'll move on to our next slide, and I'll let Carl talk about the steps to a perfect home.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. There is so much, like I've heard, I've worked with all three on different projects. There's so much you don't know when you're purchasing a home, or if you haven't purchased a home in the last 4 or 5 years. So that's why it's important to work with professionals and all, so what you don't know, what you don't know. And so sometimes you don't know what to ask for. One of the most important things to get pre-qualified, besides knowing what your budget is, insurance, taxes, all these other parts of the deal. When you're renting, you have one payment. When you're buying a house, you have taxes, insurance, you have other pieces in there that it's hard to understand unless you get the data. I use a software called Mortgage Coach, where if someone does an application, I have graphs, and it doesn't take just into down payment, but also says what my taxes, insurance, everything together, and cash to close. And I think and the more educated, the more you understand, the easier it is when you actually find that right house to be leveraged for it. And what you said earlier too is there's such a demand for housing that if you are going to be serious about buying a house, you need to be prepared that if that house, you go up on Saturday, you know exactly what you're getting. And pre-qualification, pre-approval, doing your homework on the front end helps you to help you make a decision. If you have 4 or 5 people applying for looking at one house, and 4 of them have a pre-qualification, one of them does, guess who's going to get the contract? We're in a lot of multi-contract situations in all our markets in Texas, which is a good thing. That means we have a good, solid market. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I have some really good resources I can share with everybody on there, but we do have a great digital application from start to finish. So, I agree with all the COVID protocols, but just also it's ease of use. You can use everything off your mobile device. From mortgage application all the way to closing, it's all digital. I am a local lender, but I do have the digital tools that are to help everybody. They're moving in from out of town or if they're here. So VA, FHA, conventional. One of the things I'll try to do is help you get into the right product, because there's pros and cons for each one of the products. Some of them have a down payment, some have better rates. I can offer that through our Mortgage Coach platform. I have 30 years of business, but every deal is unique. And so I consider I love working with first-time home buyers, because I do feel as a coach or as a tutor that I can help them make the best decision. So when they buy a house, which is an important decision, they're better prepared. I'm good, Ruby. I'm not going to get any more in detail of that. I have some great links to offer everybody on this call, and I could talk about this for years, but right now I think we're good, and just go to the next slide.
Okay, great. All right, well, on the next slide here, I am going to have Nancy talk here. What happens after your offer has been accepted? We go into what's known as the option period, and I'm going to let her touch on these points. Hey, Nancy, we can't hear you. Are you muted?
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. So hello, my name is Nancy Ortiz. I work for Home Warranty of America, and I'm always available for my realtors and their clients to answer questions about what is a home warranty. Some people don't even know that the realtor has already negotiated a budget for a home warranty in the contract. So after that offer is accepted, then it comes the part where they choose a home warranty and an insurance. And what is the difference between a home insurance and a home warranty? A home insurance takes care of the big stuff, flooding, hurricanes, stuff like that. The home warranty takes care of the mechanical part of your house, meaning plumbing, electricity, appliances, cooling, heating, garbage disposal, and about 120 items around your home can receive savings when it comes to when they have to fix something within your house that was unexpected and it's not working mechanically. Okay, so with me, the value comes where Ruby, Judith, and Kim, for example, they reach out to me so that I can explain the coverage to their clients and help them understand and learn ways to use it. As a homeowner myself and a home warranty believer, because I've always used one as long as I've been a homeowner, I know how to work that home warranty and get the most out of your contract and help you understand how to use it and when not to. For example, I was talking to a client today about what is a garbage disposal wrench, because it appeared to me that the garbage disposal is just stuck. So I'm not going to do that every time but I'm available to explain things to them if they reach out to me or to you. I'd rather say. So anyways, we have 3 coverages from the gold, the diamond, and the marquee. And I'm here for you to answer any other questions. Ruby, did I cover everything that you wanted me to cover, or is there something?
No, I think that's good. If you want to just mention really briefly, I guess the option period, what that means.
Oh, of course. So the option period is the time you have to do an inspection on your home. And after the inspection, that you want, that your realtor to negotiate for you and fixes and whatnot. During the seller's period, sometimes it's so important, not sometimes, it's very important that that house has been taken very well care of. And you can see that sometimes they transfer home warranties. So you know that that house has been taken care of. But the inspection report is going to tell you about it. And that's where you're going to know what you need to either try to negotiate or everything is perfect. And you go on. And the home warranty is there to back you up. The inspection report is going to say that everything is in working order. So at that time, you know that once and you have a home warranty, is going to help you with those, unexpected things. But the option period is great for you to know that that house is in good condition.
Okay, thank you so much, Nancy. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I'll go through closing. So just very briefly, because we're running out of time here, but so Nancy was talking about, the option period. After the option period, you do have an appraisal and a final walkthrough where you walk the house. And these are all coordinated with your realtor. And then you can have a closing. There's mobile and in-person available at this time, which makes it really convenient with everything going on with COVID. And after all this is said and done, you finally get your keys. So that means after everything's funded and everybody's paid, that's when you get the keys. Because I know sometimes people say, can I get my keys already? I already signed at the title company. Well, no, you don't get them until your bank pays, or if you're paying cash, until all that's paid out. So after all that, make sure to stay in contact with your realtor, because we're going to help you along the way, and with your lender, with your home warranty partner, because we're going to help you along the way with any other issues you might have. Because as homeowners, especially first-time homeowners, you're going to have all kinds of questions about taxes and homestead exemptions, which we are going to hold a Zoom meeting on homestead exemptions here in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. And just keep in touch. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. And then I am going to open it now for Q&A. So if we have any questions from anybody, please feel free to ask. Don't all jump in at once now.
I'm good. Thank you, Ruby.
I'm good. Thank you. You guys were very informative.
Yep.
Great. I guess if we can just leave on a brief note, what do the interest rates look like right now, Carl? Because I get that a lot from people.
The rates are historically some of the lowest they've been in the history of rates. So low twos, low threes. The benefit of a low rate is not just a low rate. When we're talking about buying a home comparing to renting a house, well, if you buy a home, you're locking your housing, which is typically most people's largest obligations are housing, and versus renting. Your rent will probably go up for the next 20 years, whereas a house, if you can lock your mortgage rate in, you lock your housing, which helps us all in a whole financial process. So rates are extremely low. I mean, I'll be honest with you. And on VA loans right now, we're running some specials where we have no lender fees. So if you know someone's got a VA loan, we have no lender fees. And if we're working with a Coldwell Banker, I don't know if you wanted to pass it on. There's all kinds of incentives for using Coldwell Banker as your buyer's agent. So rates are great.
Great. And for you homeowners that want to refinance, that's a good sign for you too. So it's a good time to refinance as well. Okay, well, thank you so much. Kim, do you want to say anything at the end?
Oh, thank you so much to you too and everyone over here. And like she said, whatever you guys need, any help, it's a big thing. Say, oh, I'm buying a house. You may be freaking out more if you're a first home buyer. But you know what? I think is one of the best decisions of your life for you and your family, and that we're here for to help you out. Don't be scared. We found a way to get the home that is exactly for you and your family. You will be so happy, and it's affordable for you as well. So don't be scared. And it's nothing to be scared, just to ask, get informed, get educated about what you need, what do you have to do. And then you decide what is best for you. And like I said, we'll be here. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judith?
Hi. Yeah, I'll say something. Here in McAllen and the Rio Grande Valley, the market is really hot. As soon as something comes on the market, it's immediately gone. Like, no joke. It's really hot over here. And I am coming across a lot of people say they want to buy a house and they don't know how to start. And I always tell them, you know, don't be afraid. If you want to buy a house or thinking of selling a house, it's mainly buyers. If you want to talk to somebody, like, I know you don't know how to start, but if you just talk to a realtor, the realtor will guide you and give numbers that you need. For example, if you don't even know how you're going to finance your house, there'll be a good place. A realtor will be a good place to start, because he or she will give you a number to call. Okay, contact a loan officer and he'll guide you and tell you what you need to do. Even if it's a year from now, that they say, oh, we're gonna buy a house next year, but they're not planning anything in between. Like, it takes planning. So talk to a realtor, even if you're thinking of buying a year and a half from now, talk to them. They'll give you a number. You talk to a loan officer like Carl, and they'll tell you, okay, this is what you need to do, and keep, don't be late on payments, because it's really important to keep your scores kind of high. So yeah, don't be afraid, and just ask. Talk to somebody. There's lots of realtors that are willing to help you, like us.
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, the panel as well, for coming on board and educating everyone out there. So again, this video is going to be available on my YouTube channel, Ruby the Realtor. Until next time, have a good one. Bye
Thanks.
now.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.